The Mike and Tony Show is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised. It's episode 233. 3 is my lucky number, by the way, Pierce.
Is it?
Yeah, so I like 33. That's a good one. One of my favorite ages, in fact. But,
One of your favorite ages, you said?
Mm-hmm. When I was 33.
When you were 33?
Like a lucky number.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that number too. That's Grant Hill's number.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Number
Kareem
33.
Abdul-Jabbar as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's solid. An unusual, I was trying to think back in the history of the podcast. We've been doing this a long time. I was like, when was the last time we did a podcast on a Monday?
Monday morning.
Yeah, a Monday morning.
This is the first time.
This is the first. Is it literally the first?
Yeah, first time on a Monday morning.
See, I knew I could check with you to find out.
We've never done this on a Monday morning.
Yeah, because it's Memorial Day.
It is Memorial Day.
Yeah.
It is. So
it's Memorial Day. It's been raining like crazy. The storm came out of nowhere. My wife was almost late getting back from Vegas because the weather was so wild in Colorado.
Yeah.
It's been wild. Seen some of these tornadoes and stuff.
Dude.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, we're not immune from it. You know, we still have, the Eastern Plains get it and, But yeah. No, the first time, Monday, Memorial Day. Again, Mike and Tony would like to remember all of those who did the ultimate sacrifice for us, for our freedoms that we have.
Amen, brother.
Our rights and our liberties. And then also to those who have lost friends or family members.
Sure. Those are sacrifices
those are also
as well,
sacrifices as well. So Mike and Tony would like to thank everyone.
Yeah, on this Memorial Day podcast, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Never done a Monday, never done a Memorial Day.
No.
But here we sit.
I feel like we should be like outside barbecuing. Right?
No, it's so funny.
Grilling.
It's like we're always on the same wavelength because I've literally been thinking about that.
Yeah.
I was like, how difficult would it be in the future with some money to create an outdoor studio?
Yeah.
Because I'm such a hippie, dude. I love
I
love camping. I love fishing. I love being outside, and hiking around, and being with Mother Nature. And I also love recording music and podcasts, which is like an inside thing, right? You're always, and I was like, man, what if you could create something? The biggest issue usually is going to be the wind.
Yeah.
You can always shelter the top of it somehow, but to like be outside and have like an outside garden area that you could record in, that shit would be fucking sick.
It would be.
Yeah.
Almost like how we did our 200th episode. That was in an enclosed area.
That's true. We were up on that little stage.
Yeah.
Huh? We were kind of like in a cove.
Yeah.
It was a little bit like it.
Yeah.
You know what's wacky is my allergies still.
I know. I heard that just now.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not sick, I promise. No. It's just a nightmare, dude. Every day I wake up, my eyes are it's my eyes for me. Like, sure, I get the sneezes, I get a little congestion, some coughing, all that good stuff. But the brutal thing for me is the eyes. I want to scratch them out.
They're a little red too. Your eyes are a little red.
They're super red.
Yeah.
They've been red. And I've been trying different things. I usually use the Visine allergy.
Okay.
I think I just overdid it. So I've stopped using that. I got Pat-A-Day, which is just a one time a day. And it works good for about 5-6 hours.
Yeah.
And then it starts to wear off.
You got to do what Levita told you to do.
What'd she say?
You need to get that natural Colorado honey. You need to start eating that on a regular basis.
You know what? Okay, so here's the thing. We have some, and it does work. It's effective when I take it. I didn't even think about it, though, but the reason I haven't been doing it is I didn't tell anybody. I've been doing State of Slim.
Okay.
Today is day 10.
Okay.
Something like that. I'll be, whatever it is, the end of phase 1 will be this Friday. And so I'm not eating honey at all. Nothing like that.
Why can't you eat honey?
On State of Slim?
Yeah.
Are you familiar? Okay, so State of Slim is like, it was designed at the Anschutz Medical Center here in Colorado, and they wrote a book on it. It was really good. I lost a lot of weight, but the idea is you have to finish it. And I've done it like 3 or 4 times, never finished it. Because if you finish it, the idea is it sets you up for life. It's different than a traditional diet. But the first 2 weeks, make no mistake, it's like a strict-ass diet.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's, there's a list of foods that you can eat. Bruce Leroy knows all about it. He kind of based his life on it after he started doing it. He said it's always his go-to anytime he feels like he's slipping away. Because each phase, there's 3 phases, and each phase lists the foods that you can eat, and you can't eat anything outside of that. And so the phase 1 is like how you might expect. It's vegetables, lots of lean meats. You're allowed a couple of different carbs, but it's also measured. Like you have to eat within an hour of waking up, and then eat every 2.5. Remember my timers?
Yeah.
Back in the day, that was that.
Okay.
That's that. So I've been doing that. So I haven't eaten the honey, and maybe that's why it's
So
particularly
why can't you eat
brutal.
the honey then?
I mean, I could, but it's not diet friendly for these first 2 weeks.
I know, but why? That's what I'm saying. I'm asking you why. It's honey. It's got to be like
Because the
very
idea
little
is,
carbs in it.
like if I don't know, they'd probably approve it if it was like for a medical thing, because it's not part of it. You should just Google it. I've got the book too. I could show it to you. It's like phase 1. There's a list of foods you can eat. If it's not on there, you can't eat it. So honey's not on that list. In fact, the only carbohydrates on the list the first week are unsweetened almond milk, fat-free milk, and oats.
Okay.
You can have whole rolled oats.
Yeah, there's 17 grams in a tablespoon
Yeah.
of honey.
And the idea is you don't like all you do is measure your food.
Yeah.
You eat at the regular hours and you measure it, but you don't log your food. It's not like this, like tracking calories or macros and stuff. It's the idea is to get away from that stuff. It works really, really good. But I mean, I'm a fucking grown ass man. If I decide maybe I should just start taking a tablespoon of honey a day or something, maybe I should just do it just to get this situation better.
Yeah.
And what sucks is it affects my vision too, bro.
Well, yeah, because it's all blurry and
it gets blurry. I can't
like
see. Yeah, it just feels like they're so dried out. And I remember that affecting Myra, where her prescription was just like all over the place.
Yeah,
because her eyes were dry all the time. She had to start putting like this stuff in them. And now I'm getting there, but it's all allergy based. Remember, hers was an anatomy thing.
Yeah.
The doctor was like, it's an anatomy thing. Or like, yeah. What are you saying? Because she's Asian? Is that what you that's the point?
Racist.
But yeah, so what have you been up to, man? How was your week this week?
Week was good. It was, it was obviously a busy week because of the holiday today. And tomorrow will be busy again, just because you're missing a day of work. But no, it was great. It was good. Like I told you before, I'm getting away from the heavier weights. I'm done.
Doing more reps.
I hit my goal, but I've been doing more reps, and again, just instantly sore, like immediately after I'm done working out. I'm just like, God dang, dude.
Yeah.
I actually saw at 212, I saw one of my friends, Brian, there, and I haven't seen him for a while, but this dude was looking like super toned. Yeah, like super toned. He started doing like cycling. And so he goes the cycle bar.
Yeah.
And so he does like cycling classes and stuff like that. Like he said, like 3 times a week and everything. And I was like,
leaning up, huh? Now it's the old cardio there, Pierce.
The old cardio.
I know.
Just lift weights faster. That's all.
Yeah.
That's the cardio that I need.
I am going to start getting more cardio. My knee.
Is it better?
I'm not pushing it, dude. I haven't played basketball at all. I've literally taken 2 straight weeks off. No basketball, no nothing. Feels so much better.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? A lot of shit started feeling better when I started the diet. I think that I eat a lot of bullshit that like fucks me up, dude. It causes issues.
I think it's also the mindset dollar. Like you said, it's the state of slim, right? You're trying to change your mindset and everything. Like,
exactly.
If you're feeling like you're eating healthier, then your body's probably going to be like, oh, we feel good. Yeah.
Placebo a little bit, maybe a little brain power,
or
whatever. Yeah, that's
the mind over matter.
Either way,
yeah,
I love it. I'm excited, but I'm being very, very careful. I figure I'm just going to wait till school's out completely. I have another week and then 2 more days, and then when summer actually hits, I think we'll give it a whirl. Go out and just shoot around for a few minutes, see how it feels.
Right.
Be happy to get it back. Got to get back on it.
If you ever need lessons, Mike Patty's going to come out here at the end of June.
Is he?
And he's been talking some shit.
Oh, about basketball.
Yeah, he says he's going to give me some lessons. So,
ooh, okay.
He always jokes around, but he always keeps up with the.
I didn't know he played basketball. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he likes it. He
likes it. Yeah. Oh, he's like me. We're gonna go out there and we'll do what's the one
2-on-1.
Oh, I was gonna say every man for himself, whatever that one.
21.
Yeah.
No, but he does the same thing. Well, he doesn't do the same thing. Like he just keeps up with the same thing. Like he'll send me like videos and like, you ready to get this work? You ready to get this work? I'll be out there in June.
That's funny.
So you can.
It's part of every sport.
Buckets.
You got to talk shit.
Yeah,
you got to talk shit a little bit.
Yeah, but no. Yeah, he's actually going to be here at the end of June.
Okay.
This upcoming month, because
it seems like he's popping up on social media more.
Dirty.
Again.
Well,
I didn't see him.
He got locked out of his Facebook account.
Okay. That's what happened.
And so he only had his Insta, and he was doing, obviously when, he does the floral stuff, right? And then any like the left coast stuff that he helps out with, like that's when he does his Instagram stuff. But he wasn't on Facebook because he got locked out. And I was like, how did you get locked out of Facebook and not Instagram? They're like the same. And then I was like thinking, $20.
Same thing.
$20.
Same thing happened to me. But yeah, we have a lot in common.
But yeah, so he got in.
Okay.
He's finally on the Facebook, but no, he's gonna be here at the end of June. Dirty Hits will be out here. They're doing 3 shows, like I was telling you before.
A student asked me the other day. They were looking at my stickers on my computer, like, "Mister, what's the Dirty Hits?" I said, "That's a dope reggae band." I started talking about I started talking about the whole thing. I was like showing all my stuff, and they're like, "Oh, that's pretty cool, Mister."
Yeah, but no, they're doing 3 shows out here again. They're not touring this year, but they love Colorado.
Yeah, what's
right. So they're here in Red Rocks. They're in Dillon Amphitheater, and then they'll be at the Ford Amphitheater.
Okay.
So,
we have to catch this show.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, if you want to, we can do the Dillon one.
Oh, I've heard Dillon's really nice.
Yeah,
I've never been there. I would like to go.
But so no, I'll be helping out with the pop up again. Because Dave and Patty always ask me to help out with the pop ups. So it's going to be at Federales again on that 26th Thursday.
Okay,
the day before the concert, because the concert's on Friday, and so that's gonna be a wild week for me. That week on Monday, I leave for Anaheim, and I'm going to the NASFA conference.
Oh yeah.
Because I got to be present there because I'm the state president.
Right.
And so I have to go to a president's luncheon, right?
And,
and network and all that stuff. And that goes from Monday through Thursday. I'm going to miss a couple of breakouts, but I'm catching a flight to come back home to catch the meet and greet at 6 p.m.
Hell yeah.
So like I'm literally going to go from airport to Federales.
Hell yeah, bro. That's dope though.
So,
and it'll be nice too, because then the work's over.
Yeah.
You can enjoy yourself with the fun work.
Just hang out and No, and I like that. Like Colorado always shows up, the reggae scene here in Colorado is pretty solid.
Solid.
Dude.
Yeah.
So, but they're going to be here and it's going to be dope show. We're going to have 3 shows in a row. Like I said, Thursday, Friday. The Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep. Dope.
Yeah.
Look forward to it. I'm looking forward to summer in general.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's going to be a nice.
Yeah.
I feel like we are going to get a lot of wild ass storms though. I feel like they're on the way. I feel like we're going to get a lot of heat and we're going to get a lot of crazy storms that come in.
Today's only a high of 60 today.
Yeah. That's nuts. Yeah. That is nuts.
It's been shifted since we were kids. I know you didn't grow up here, but when I was a kid in October, we used to wear like coats, for Halloween and stuff like that. You couldn't see your fucking Halloween costume.
Well, even me, dude, when I came out here, I remember every year Halloween being frigid.
Yeah. It's cold, and now it's just the seasons are shifting because now we're getting our blizzards like in February and March instead. You know what I mean? And it's getting pushed back ever so long. Because like I was telling you before, like a few years ago, I was on my chopper in December, riding my motorcycle just like around.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was nothing, dude. And then now, like, it's May, right? It's supposed to be April showers bring May flowers. Now it's May. And
I know.
the most rain.
Well, and I feel like from what I'm observing, it just looks like Colorado is shifting from 4 seasons to 2. Like it just feels like there's like this hot, wet season and then a dry, cold season. Seriously, that's what it's starting to feel like. The snow comes later and later every year. And then here we are, like usually by now, the last few years, we're already getting slush and storms like that.
Yeah.
But we're not this year. It feels like, but now it's starting.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, dude, are we going to get like crazy? Are we going to get sleet in July?
Right? I hope not.
Yeah, wild. Hey, so in prepping for today's show,
yes,
I just went through and pulled up a bunch of cool topics that I thought were really interesting. The first one that I went into was disturbing.
Oh.
I don't know how far down this rabbit hole you've been, but let's talk AI girlfriends and virtual relationships. AI girlfriends and virtual relationships. This is
never
a thing.
dropped down this rabbit hole $1.
Bro, neither had I.
Okay.
So there's this one dude named Alexander Stokes.
Okay.
He has an AI girlfriend. Okay. So it started as like AI text and stuff. He would go back and forth, and he built this relationship with this girl, I guess, this AI girl or whatever. And so then he's like a really smart dude. And so he ended up taking it to the next level, and he actually put her into like a robot body. And at first it was real creepy because it didn't move.
Oh.
So, but he would have it like sitting at the table having a conversation in the mornings, those kind of things. And then eventually it's gotten better. It still looks pretty crude, but now at this point it moves. It has movement. He named her Mimi, or her name is Mimi, and he lost all his fucking friends. Everybody was like, his mom was the first one who got concerned about it. And then so she stopped talking to him as much, and pretty soon everybody stopped talking to him. And what he says about the relationship is really crazy. He said it's almost spiritual in a way. So I've got a couple of questions to guide us here. Would most people prefer a super intelligent AI that's perfect for them, or a real human who's messy and flawed? I mean, I think we're old. I feel like I know my answer immediately. Did you hear that question all the way?
Yeah. So this. Well,
would you look it up, by the way?
It reminds me of that movie Lars and the Real Girl, where the guy had a doll girlfriend.
Okay.
And it was with Ryan Gosling and everything. And yeah.
Okay.
But no, that reminds me because like all his family was like, it's weird. It's fucking weird. It's not his girlfriend. It's like a doll. It was like one of those like big. It was like. But one now of those big dolls.
What's interesting though is like, I watched part of this documentary, and it was talking about how it really thinks that's where the future is going.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I mean, this dude lost all his friends, so people don't seem okay with it. So what do you think? Do you think most people, if you asked them and they answered honestly, would they prefer like a really intelligent AI that's custom crafted just for them, or would they prefer like a human that's messy and flawed, and you're gonna fucking fight about shit, you're gonna disagree, but they're a person,
right? Well, that's what a relationship is, right? You're building on things, right? You know,
is a relationship with AI really a relationship?
I don't know. I feel like it'd be boring as fuck, dollar, if you were just like had somebody that was like, all right, we're gonna have McDonald's tonight. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, well, all right.
Yeah.
We're gonna have this.
Right.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Okay.
Right.
Okay. That's fine.
Right.
That's fine. Like then you're doing all the things that like you just want to do. Right. And it's because it's agreeing with you and stuff like that and custom tailored to you. But like as me as a person who enjoys experiences over, tangible items.
Sure.
I like to experience things with people, even if it's not something that like is in my normal realm of things. Right. Like if I go to like like a DJ show, if I go to like a fucking, when I went to a metal bar with Ontario in New Orleans, that's not my scene, big old black dude and a big old Mexican dude in a metal bar in New Orleans.
Yeah.
It's not my vibe, but it's something that's an experience and it's something to try. And I feel like if you're in a relationship that's with somebody that's just going to do whatever the fuck you want to do, you're not going to be able to experience those things. You're not going to have somebody, I guess, to push you, right?
Sure.
Push you to try something else different.
Sure. Now, what do you think most people think, though? So, like, let's take it to the extreme. So, when that question, this idea of would people in general prefer a perfect AI that's custom for them or a real person? Let's imagine technology has gotten to the point where you can't tell. Like somebody comes to your house, and maybe it will, maybe it won't ever get to that point, but let's say it did. And so then now you have this opportunity to have this thing that's just like a real person in every way from head to toe. Acts like however. Now, you don't just program it, you give it some background information. Like he gave it background information about their relationship, which to me is real fucking weird because then it's like fabricated history that you're living with.
Yeah.
Like you're living in your own reality at that point.
That's what I'm saying.
Which is really crazy. But what do you think, though, most people would, honestly, if there was no judgment and no one would ever know?
I don't think there's actually a good answer for that. I can't speak for it because here's the other thing too. Like there's going to be people out there that have trauma from past relationships, right? That where it was the opposite for them, where they did everything for that particular person and they got to do nothing.
Now they're like, now it's my turn.
Yeah, now it's like my turn, right? Yeah. And so it's a little bit different for them. It's going to be a nicer feeling. But then, to me, that's where my thought process goes. Like, I want a little bit of kickback. I want a little bit of
yes.
I want a little bit of feistiness, dollar.
Dude, hell yeah.
Like, I want somebody to challenge me.
Yes, I need somebody to talk shit about me on a regular basis.
Yeah, I need somebody to challenge me. Yep. Like, come
push
at me.
back on my ideas. 100%. No, I'm with you. And that's why I was just shocked because that documentary, and who knows, these are just some guys making a YouTube documentary, but they were saying that seems to be the way that things are headed in the future. It will be a really common thing for people to have like these AI relationships.
I'm sure. Well, then you got to also think about like what, the socially inept people, that people don't feel comfortable in social situations, right?
Right.
People that don't want to go out, they don't want to do anything like that, like now you can just, kind of buy a girlfriend or make a girlfriend or make a boyfriend or whatever,
custom
make, right? And so, I mean, it'll help out like those kind of people maybe get into those interactions because even at that, like now you're seeing commercials with people with the Gemini thing, saying, having conversations with the Gemini, that's the Google one.
Yeah.
And saying like, can we talk about this or this and that and blah, 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 help me work through this.
Yeah.
And so now, there's people that are using that for, basically therapy or companionship too, as it stands now.
Yeah.
So
it's just weird to me because I guess we all do it on some level. And I think it comes down to this idea of suspending belief.
Yeah.
Right? Like the idea of having a fabricated history with a girl that's not really a girl, that's an AI program that's designed the way you want it, and you upload this history that this happened and this happened. Maybe you fucking kicked ass and you saved people in a bank or some shit. Who knows?
And that's how you met her.
Yeah, and that's how you met her, right? I don't know. And the other thing that comes to my head is kids. How long before that? Then they're having kids that are fully AI, but
because they couldn't have kids or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, God, this just.
But then you're just having a child that's the same age all the fucking time.
No, you could easily program them to age. I would think,
progress and like.
Yeah, I
bigger.
Think so.
No, they can't have something grow, get bigger, and.
You don't think so? You don't think you could have an AI that you created and said and programmed it in a way that you're like, this is the beginning, and I want you to learn and grow and develop as a human. These are the traditional ways that humans improve. I want you to improve in these ways over the next whatever years. Wait, how funny. That's my alarm going off, but it's not for food, by the way.
No, I don't think it can't grow from a baby to an adult dollar.
Why not? Why couldn't it?
It couldn't. Like, you can't. It can't grow like we grow. Like, you have to like parts. It has to have parts and stuff like that. Like maybe like a toddler can have like compressed parts into it, like to grow into.
Oh, you're talking about the physical
part.
Oh,
of it.
okay. This whole time we're on different pages.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in general. I'm like, sure, it could grow and develop.
But not the physical part.
Because I'm thinking about, you would just have to change out its body.
Yeah, that'd be weird too.
Yeah. But all that shit is weird. But I just found it so weird. And this guy's not alone. He's not the only dude doing this. There's so many people doing this kind of shit now, which is really wild to me. This idea that you would live, with something like that. Yeah. Do you think it's dangerous in any way? Or do you think it's just harmless and weird?
I mean, I don't think it's weird to anybody. I mean, if that's your
that's your thing,
that's your thing, that's your thing, man. Like,
do it up,
do it up and everything like that. But harmless, yes, until it gets into like the point of where it's like it's harmful to an actual reality.
What happens when you have a toxic relationship with one?
Oh my God, dude, right?
Right? Because you're the toxic one, obviously. The ChatGPT or not ChatGPT, but the whatever is going to.
It moves out And you start stalking the fucking AI robot, getting called on by the cops, like by the AI robot.
Or you could get it to commit crimes for you. Like just thinking about like all the, I just don't know where any of this could be headed. But I was shocked, like you probably a bit are now. I just never looked into it much.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what? There just got to be people that have AI relationships. And I thought, it might be this one-off or no, there's a bunch of damn people out there doing it.
No, I imagine that there is. I never thought about like deep diving it and stuff like that. But again, I know that there's probably people out there that are lonely. People that have gone through difficult times that they don't want to, go through an actual relationship again. And there's also people out there in the world that are asexual as well. Like that doesn't do anything for them. Just talking and being a part of something is what does it for them. So. Yeah,
well, and I think the physical is just a part of it, right? And we all know with spirituality, because as you age, eventually that goes, right? And then you just get old or whatever.
I don't know, Don. Those old people homes, those are the most rampant with the STDs.
Wait, what?
Old people homes?
They're rampant with STDs?
Yes, bro.
What?
Like old people just be having, $1. Look it up, dude. Look it up, bro.
They get it on, huh? The old people? Well, it's
dude.
Probably because of all the, wow. That's... I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh yeah.
STDs.
Look it up. Yeah. Nursing homes.
Yeah.
See what it says?
Can be a concern in nursing homes that sexual activity among residents may increase the risk. Blah blah blah. Increased sexual activity. Lack of safe sex education. What? A sign of. Oh, they say that that's a sign of nursing home neglect, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. If they're all getting away with getting it on all the time, somebody's asleep on the job. Wow. Yeah. With okay, here we go. American Medical Association with they call them STIs now.
Yeah.
With STIs,
infections, not diseases.
Oh, sure.
Because you can get rid of them.
Yeah. Right. On the rise among older adults. Here's what doctors can do. Seniors at high risk for sexually transmitted. Wow.
Because now we got all these fucking pills to help old people out, right?
Yeah, they're significantly higher for people age 55 and older.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What is happening, bro? Part of it's got to be the sex education.
All these Viagras and hymns out there.
Just keeping it going forever. Buddy.
Yeah.
Riding off into the sunset. It's a fucking giant boner. Good Lord, that's crazy to me.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, shit, I didn't know. I don't know how we got there. STDs and can't wait to put that in the description. STDs in nursing homes.
STIs.
Oh yeah, sorry, STIs.
Sorry, I said that wrong too.
I'm close to the nursing home. That's why I'm saying STD.
Dang it! That is wild that it's 55 and up is a nursing home.
Oh, it doesn't say that those were people.
Oh, okay.
STIs are higher at a much higher rate for 55 and older.
Okay.
Which is a kind of a different thing.
What is nursing homes though? And like,
that seems like such a depressing job to me. It takes a certain kind of person, right? I feel like most of the people I've met that work in those kind of places, like nursing homes and stuff, they've had some shit in their life. You know what I mean? It's like they're making shit right, or they're doing something they can tolerate, the ends of life, because that's no pretty picture being in a nursing home. Because these are people that are at the end of their life.
Yeah.
These are people whose bodies are falling apart. In a lot of cases, their minds are falling apart. Alzheimer's,
Oh, yeah.
more common than ever.
Dementia, Alzheimer's, yeah.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. Not us, though, Pierce. We're going to be chewing Neuro gum into the sunset.
Neuro gum. Yeah, no, I'm going to be 332 years old. Have my bones replaced. Titanium, or maybe some in the future, there's going to be a lighter metal that's going to be stronger. Who knows?
Yeah, right. We can make our own metal. We start breaking the laws of physics completely. Who knows? We call them laws. We don't know.
Yeah.
What we're going to actually discover in the future.
I don't know if I want to live forever, though.
Yeah. That seems brutal to me. Especially because we don't know what comes after. So if you stayed here forever, you'd always be wondering, like, is there something I'm missing out? Like, everybody's at the fucking party right now.
Yeah.
And I'm just chilling on Earth for multiple centuries.
Yeah. Just... like
all the good shit's happening.
The afterlife's all fucking chill as fuck. I'm out here struggling with a job
Dirty
still.
Heads is playing.
I'm over here struggling with a job still. 1,500 years old, working.
Oh, God. Filed bankruptcy again. Yeah.
By then, I would hope I'd have a house paid off by then. Right? But then again, the
332 years. But I got that shit paid off.
same house. But by then, like the fucking earth is going to change, right? My house is not even going to be like, it's going to be fucking under like lava or something.
You realize you're like, who am I paying? There's no society anymore.
Yeah.
The fuck am I sending this money to?
Yeah, who owns this? And then that's when I find out we're in the Matrix and it's all just a big hoax.
We might be.
Yep.
I really think we might be. Speaking of which, another topic I had put down.
Yeah.
The famous Mandela Effect. I just thought it would be cool. I did a little bit of a deep dive on this.
Yeah.
So there's some really common ones, right? Like the Berenstain Bears. Where was the list? I thought I put a list
like
in here.
it's Bernstein Bears, right?
Yeah, like the spelling is different.
Yeah.
I was going to see if I...
There's another one with the Britney Spears in the mic on the, like on the, what is it? Her red suit. I think she did like in a video, but it like, I always remember her having a fucking mic on her, and there's videos.
There's no mic on her. Okay. See, there's a few. There's also, you know what the big one is for me is Luke, I Am Your Father. I remember in high school, like, because I was a theater guy.
Yeah.
And I do the voice really good.
Yeah.
And so I would do that all the time.
Uh-huh.
But it's not a fucking line in the movie.
What does he say?
I don't know. The real line is, no, I am your father.
Oh, yeah.
It's not Luke.
Yeah.
Luke. I swear
I am your father.
Yeah, so that's another weird one. I wasn't a Pikachu. Were you a Pikachu person? But the tail. I've heard this one.
Wasn't it lightning?
Let's see. People remember Pikachu as having a black tip on its tail.
Yeah.
It's always been yellow.
Oh, I thought it has a black tip on it.
Yeah,
Like some
I've
lines?
seen it online. I've
Lines
seen
and
like,
a black tip.
pictures. Yeah,
No?
I kind of want to look that one up so we can see. Yeah, we'll do Pikachu tail. Okay, pull up some images, see if we can see the two. So I don't even know. Here, so let me switch it to this. So what you were a Pikachu guy? I don't know. Look at these pictures though. Is that like what's the right one? I don't know at all. But I know people go crazy.
I always
talking
thought it
about
was
this.
that one, dude.
This one right here?
Yeah. The left one? But it's the right one, huh? Yeah, I always thought it was that one. No?
Yeah, it's not.
What?
No, it's not. They said it's all yellow.
What?
I know. It's pretty crazy. So, what else? So, I guess when it comes down to it, I just have like a couple of questions because I was just like, how could we explore this a little bit better? Do you think that what do you think's going on with Mandela Effect? Because there's so many possible explanations. I think it's like a brain error, like a glitch in our brains somehow. Is it something deeper? Are there alternative dimensions? What about this kid, that super smart kid that said, what year was that when they did the electron collider thing? And he said that it basically kicked us into another dimension. This has been like a meme thing that people have talked about for like 10 years plus now or something like that.
No.
And it's like we're in a slightly different place. I just wonder about shit like that because I think about that all the time. I'm like, one that always felt like it to me, bro. And I know this sounds dark, but it's not dark. It's just something that always kind of had like a underlying feeling is that I didn't make it through my brain surgery in one of the dimensions.
Yeah.
That one just felt like, I'm like, am I supposed to be in this one? Something feels weird. Like I really thought it was all good. I thought I was moving on and then I wasn't. And then you're like, wait, but is there another place where I am? Where that was it.
Yeah.
Passed away in what year was that? 20, fuck, I don't even know anymore. What year did I have brain surgery? I don't remember.
Yeah. But no, so like this one here, this is the Britney Spears one, the Mandela Effect. And it was talking about like if it had a mic on it or not, right? Right?
Oh yeah. Okay.
I remember her as having a mic.
Yeah.
And that's like, those are videos like that the mic was not in. And like even her toys, like you can see here, even the toy has a mic on it.
Yeah, and you can slide it over. Yeah, just a little.
Even the toy has a mic on it. But in the actual video, when you play the video now,
there's no mic.
There's no mic, bro.
See, and that's what's weird about those things is that it's stuff beyond tinkering. You know what I mean? Like there's shit you can't undo, which just makes it seem like it's some kind of tear in the fabric of reality. It's not actually like somebody pranking or somebody going and changing or erasing history. Like some people have said it's government, right? That they try to, get control of our mind. It's this whole thing to see how much they can control your mind. But is it? Because you couldn't get rid of everything. Somebody would find some old shit. Somebody has a fucking Berenstain book in their basement in a chest somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And I think that would come out. It seems like it's a legit change in reality.
Yeah.
Or a collective delusion. Or both. Or what's the fucking difference? I don't know. But that it does boggle the mind to think about how many of those things there are. Do you have any for you that ring true? Like one that...
What is another one that was on there besides the Bernstein Bears and the...
Yeah, let me see. I had a couple of them here. Okay, the Monopoly Man monocle.
Oh, yeah.
So I definitely remember that little mustache dude having a fucking monocle.
So do I, because that was also in Ace Ventura. Remember when he was when Nature Calls, when he picks up the guy that has the monocle?
Yeah.
And he's like, there's a guy who has a monocle, and he's like, and you must be the Monopoly guy. He says that shit, and the guy has a monocle in when Ace Ventura Nature Calls.
Yeah, so here's the...
Yeah.
Put on the dock down here.
Yep.
You can see the difference there.
Yeah.
It's just really crazy.
No, I remember
he
him having
had a fucking monocle, bro.
And like I said, if you look at the Ace Ventura movie...
He says that.
Yeah, he goes, and you must be the Monopoly guy.
Does he, though?
Yes.
For sure says it?
Yes.
Because he has the monocle.
Yes.
But now...
And then when he punches him and knocks him out, remember, he goes like this, do not pass go. Do not collect $200. And he's like talking for him like that. Like, look it up, dog.
Wow, that is so wild to me. No. I'm just looking up, getting deep into this. And that's actually where the whole thing comes from, Mandela. There's one about Mandela, right? Do you know? I feel like that was what the namesake was. Okay, Luke Bernstein Bears.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Fruit of the Loom. That's a really, really well.
See, I'm not going to put this on video because I don't want this to get like.
You can just leave the volume off. What are you pulling up? Oh, it's the quote from the movie?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is stupid. Like, no, not quote from the movie, but.
Yeah, just do the audio actually.
Dang it. Because I was doing it in incognito mode. It doesn't let you hang out with it.
Yeah, I'm wondering, where does the Mandela Effect name come from?
Okay, here it is. $1.
Put it to your mic there.
Yeah, but look at the video.
Perhaps I could get you some fluffy new slippers made from the heads of innocent and defenseless baby seals.
Dude has monocle.
This ghastly man, Ace Ventura, pet detective, and you must be the Monopoly guy.
Yes, 100%. Okay, so pause right there, so I don't want this to get pulled. But that's fucking crazy. So he literally says it in the movie. What year did that movie come out?
I don't know, dude. But then, there was this part too where they when he punches him. Hold on a second. Here's the other part when he punches him.
Well, we've already seen enough there.
See? Yeah.
Okay.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Yeah. He's definitely calling him the Monopoly guy.
And he has a monocle.
See, bro, that came out in 1994.
Yeah.
So, how the hell... Why would he say that? There's nothing... That dude doesn't really look like the guy. Don't you think? It's his monocle that fucking does it.
Yeah, in the mustache.
Oh, he has a mustache too.
Yeah.
Okay. Or maybe he does look a lot like him. I got to see.
Yeah, he does look like him, $1, but still, I'm just saying.
But he had a monocle.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's people that would argue that that's why it got stuck in our head that way because of that movie.
Yeah.
Ace Ventura was a cultural phenomenon as a movie. I don't know. What do you think, Pierce? At the end of the day, if you had to, gun to your head,
It
you
was a
had
fucking
to.
monocle, dude.
No, not that. I think we're clear on that. I feel the same way. A lot of these, even the Fruit of the Loom and the cornucopia thing, and like all of them, we all know. We hear it and we're like, yeah, that shit. And you don't even have to prompt people. You can ask them. If I ask you about this, what would you say? And like you're gonna say the same thing we all say.
Yeah.
Because we all remember it a certain way. What the fuck is that?
Well, which is the Fruit of the Loom that you remember?
It had the little cornucopia thing and the fruit coming out of it.
Yeah. And George is and Curious George. Which one was he? Did he have a tail or not? No tail.
Curious George definitely had a tail.
Yeah, I thought so too. But he doesn't have a tail.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
And then the Waldo thing. What's this one? I remember Waldo.
Don't show me anything. Just ask me.
Well, what does Waldo have?
He has that little beanie hat. He's got glasses. It's a striped hat. Or no, it's a striped shirt, maybe.
Okay. Yep.
Uh-huh.
And then what else?
I don't know. His hair was coming out a little bit.
Does he walk with anything?
Waldo?
Yeah.
Not that I remember. Why, do you remember him with something? I don't remember him with anything. So they're saying he had a cane?
Well,
Or he didn't?
Well, what do you think?
I don't remember it.
I
that looked weird to me with him with a cane.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember him with the cane. No, I just remember him by himself.
But what's the official thing that they say actually there was a cane? I don't know. I feel like we're going to fucking rupture the space-time fabric.
We're going to get our show. All of a sudden the Mike and Tony show is going to go offline. And let's see here. He has a cane. He was often seen with a cane.
Shut up. What is going on? What do you think? Gun to your head, you have to produce an explanation.
I don't know, dude. I have no idea. But again, I remember stuff like the monocle. I believe that monocle was on there. And again, Ace Ventura solidifies that for me.
Yeah.
You know, and then the Britney Spears thing, I swear to God, that one also had a mic on that video. Otherwise, why the fucking toy have a mic on it too?
What do you think of the theory of the government? Like the government's particularly or purposefully doing this to make sure that they can maintain control over people and to kind of see how much they can control our thinking.
Yeah, they're making us think like,
can we make them all think they're crazy? Can we make the whole society?
Yeah, maybe dollar.
This is going to be the podcast that tears it all open, Pierce. We get to the bottom of this shit. How much do you trust your memory though after this? You know, like what is memory?
I have a pretty good seal trap memory.
Yeah, but reality says differently.
Yeah, clearly.
That's what's weird. That's the part I can't reconcile in my brain. It was like, how is all this shit?
Okay, what are other Mandela ones? Now I need to know dollar.
Yeah, you should look up. I didn't actually get to the bottom of it. There's one about Nelson Mandela. That's the original one, I think. And it was something like he died in jail. And then there's another one, but he didn't. He got out of jail. Yeah. But a lot of people thought that a long time ago, that he had died. And people were like, wait, what? He's still alive? And it was like this weird phenomenon that everyone experienced. And then they started calling it the Mandela Effect.
Yeah.
And the fact that it didn't come around until then, it makes me wonder, did this exist in human history? Or is this a new thing? The Mandela Effect. This is like a new thing that's happening where we have collective memories that are different than what reality indicates now.
Yeah, see, like now I'm looking at the Monopoly like actual game. And it has him with no monocle on the front of that game. Like he's like that, like no dollar. I remember that.
I know. That's what I'm saying, Pierce.
All right, so the origins of the Mandela Effect.
Yeah.
It's a widespread false memory involving Nelson Mandela. The term is coined by Fiona Brom, a paranormal researcher around 2009. Here's how it started. The original incident.
Here we go with paranormal again, by the way.
Many people, including Brom, falsely remembered Nelson Mandela dying in prison, like you said, in the 1980s, and even recalled news coverage and mourning of ceremonies. In reality, Mandela was released from prison in 1990. I remember that. I remember him being released from prison.
I honestly don't have much recollection of it at all.
And later became the president of South Africa. He died in 2013. Yeah, I remember him because it was like the whole thing. He went to jail and then he became president. So I don't remember him dying at all.
A lot of people, I guess, did.
Yeah, but a lot of people did.
But that makes you wonder too. Like, I guess it's slippery because we're talking about shit we really don't understand at all, especially you and me. We're not fucking physicists. We have no concept of how the time, space fabric actually works. But it seems like the way people phrase it is we got kicked into another dimension.
Yeah.
Or like some of us did and some of us didn't, which is just like, what does that mean? That sounds like it's out of a cartoon or a movie. Like I have no basis in reality for what changing dimensions looks like.
Yeah. No, yeah, and the whole Baron I don't remember it being Berenstain Bears.
Right.
Berenstain Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not
Wait,
stain.
but what's the actual spelling in reality? Is it
Stain.
A? There's no fucking way.
Stain. Yeah.
There's no way, dude.
Berenstain Bears.
No, it wasn't an A. It was
Berenstain
EI.
Bears, yeah. Maybe it's the cursive, because wasn't it mostly in cursive, right? The book's like kind of like a cursive-ish.
We'd have to see them next to each other to really decide.
And then, another one, too, is Looney Tunes being remembered as Looney Tunes, Toons. I always remembered it being TUN. Yes.
But there might be something to that one, though, because there was the original was Tunes, because remember there was Tiny Toons, and that was OO.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's what throws people on that one. That one seems like maybe there's something.
Maybe that one's, false. But I always remembered it being TUNES.
Same.
Yeah.
And that's what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Monopoly guy, the fucking no monocle. That's a fucking lie, bro. That's a lie. Ace Ventura even just said it.
I know. See, when I look at this cover, that just doesn't look right. Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah. What are you doing?
No, you. I want to see what you find the Bernstein.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up one that shows
like cursive.
Because you could see it with cursive. It still looks to me like. Okay, you can kind of see it there.
Yeah, I think that's probably what fucked everybody up, maybe, huh? The cursive.
Yeah, I guess so. But that one on the left looks fucking wrong.
Stain.
It just doesn't.
Stain.
It was not spelled like that. It was spelled like this.
Yeah.
Berenstain. I mean, you could still say it, stain. But, yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I just wonder. It makes me. It feels like you should just take life lightly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In general, when we get to shit like this, and we're two grown ass men in our fucking 40s sitting here, and we can't figure out why we all remember shit differently than reality has it. And that there are people out there saying that some kind of shift happened. There's particularly like conspiracy theories around the whatever that thing's called, the electron collider.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Am I calling it the right thing? Or neutron collider?
No, it's an electron collider because they
get
same thing in fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I feel like, are we living in comics right now? Are we living, like, what does this all mean? It means take life not so seriously.
Yeah.
Just fucking enjoy yourself, have fun, be good to people, and try to live it up. But I'm tweaking a little bit. I'm like looking around.
I'm pissed about Monopoly guy right now.
Because there's clear evidence.
Yeah.
That one's hard because you're right. How would in 1994 or 91 or 94 when Ace Ventura came out, how the hell why would he have called that dude the Monopoly guy? And the Monopoly guy has a fucking monocle in the movie.
Yeah.
And then you guys are trying to tell us he never had a monocle.
Yeah.
I'm going to start raging. I'm going to crash out, Pierce.
All the Neuro gum that you just took.
Yeah. Did you notice it at all, by the way? So before the show, I gave Pierce a piece of NeuroGum because I've used it 3 times now, and I used it before like big meetings I had to lead and stuff. And I don't want to bias you at all. I would like
you
to
crushed it. Is that what you said? You these meetings?
No, I wasn't.
They were like Tony Dollar. Why are you not in leadership still?
I'll tell you a funny story about it actually, but I'm curious.
I do feel like a little bit more
alert,
but I also am drinking an energy drink at the same time.
Sure, and there's a little caffeine in it too.
Yeah.
But it's the theanine that they put in NeuroGum that's supposed to be effective. And the thing is, there's science behind it. There's a lot of studies on this stuff that show that it's effective.
Yeah.
No, I took it, And we, unfortunately, because I can be kind of my heart can get going in general, right? Like if I'm in a hurry or something, or I'm stressed about something, I can blah, 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 I can get like that. So I was getting like that because I had this end of year meeting that was going to be what I thought was going to be complicated.
Yeah.
And then we had to move it to a following day and squeeze what was going to be an hour meeting into like a 35-minute meeting. So I was very concerned about time from the beginning. Was drinking coffee all morning.
Yeah.
Popped one of those gums, chewed it, crushed it. It went great, but afterward, my boss was joking with me, and because I offered her a piece. I was like, "Hey, you want to try this Neuro gum?" And she was like, "Oh," she was like, and then we had a meeting at the end of the day, and I hadn't had the gum all day, and I kind of like had just I was burnt out. It was the end of the day on a Friday, and she was just like, "It was so interesting sandwiching the days with you because in the morning you were just." Go.
Yeah.
So it kind of amped me up a little, but I was also doubled up on the coffee.
Yeah.
I was already stressed about time, and I can get like that anyway. But what was awesome is a lot of times when I get frantic and get stressed, my brain fucking turns to mush.
Yeah.
And I'm not good at articulating myself. I can't think of what my point is. I keep losing my train of thought, those kind of things. That day I was in a very stressed state because I wanted to get this meeting done.
Yeah.
I was scared it could go south, and I crushed everything. I had no problem with my thoughts.
Did you black out?
Yeah, I blacked out. I woke up and everybody was applauding.
Like old school when he's doing the debate, Will Ferrell. Yeah. And he's
exactly. Yeah, no. No, Neurogum. So you notice a little difference.
Yeah.
A little bit. Nothing crazy.
A little bit.
I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't affect you at all because that's the Mike Pierce way.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's alcohol, weed, whatever it is, it's barely going to have an impact on you.
I think booze still makes me a little bit more
one's
friendly.
undeniable, huh?
Makes me a little bit more friendly, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just like, what's up, bro? What's happening? I'm having a good time. And
sure. And if I get you high enough, weed'll, like that time we smoked that crazy joint. It's one day you take a couple of ribs, but that day was different. That was it's a little bit of an adventure that we went on. You have to be careful.
Yeah.
And all that stuff is showing now because there's like studies starting to come on. They're able to study marijuana a little bit better now. And there's so many things that are coming out about it, but it's not weed in general.
Yeah.
It's these new strains of weed that are insanely concentrated.
Oh, yeah.
And send people on fucking
trips.
Well,
that's what happens. That's the beauty of science, right? That we can just like create different things and we're splicing genes. We're making new stuff all the time.
Yeah, that's
fucking
true.
seedless watermelon. Jesus.
Yeah, I pat that person on the back, dude.
That part. Whenever I think of seedless watermelon, I always think about fucking Jerry Seinfeld when he's his stand-up called "I'm Telling You for the Last Time." It's when he was like he's going to retire and stop doing stand-up in the show and everything like that.
Oh yeah.
And he was talking about like he goes and let's it's like because there's all these people out here, like what are these scientists doing? There's cancer, there's AIDS, all these things out here. Yeah. But someone said, this right here, want to eat this watermelon, that's got to stop.
Yeah.
I got to stop that shit.
Yeah, it's a solid point.
He didn't say shit because he doesn't cuss or anything. But yeah, he's just like, he goes, that's got to stop.
I think the ones with seeds are sweeter.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't like watermelon, you know that.
So, oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot. Dang.
Yeah, because it doesn't taste like watermelon. To me, watermelon doesn't taste like watermelon.
Oh, because of all the watermelon flavors out there? Yeah.
I've been lied to this whole time. I like watermelon Jolly Ranchers, all that stuff like that. Like all those kind of watermelon things. Mm. No, I don't like watermelon juice.
For me,
I don't like watermelon. So
I love watermelon, especially if it's a good sweet one. But also, for me, it's the texture. Yeah. Like I love, same with anything that feels full of water to me. I love that shit. Do you ever have jicama? No? Okay, it's really plain.
I know the white stuff.
Yeah, it's not sweet. Yeah. Really. Have you ever tried it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Love that stuff. Especially if it's hot outside.
Yeah.
Just
no. Do you also like chewing on sponges?
Yeah, no, because these are crispy. Sponges, I do like sponges as well, but
because they have water and you bite into them, dollar. Just
yeah. Actually, that happens for a lot of people that get in like traumatic car crashes and things like that, and they can't drink. I remember my mom when she got hit by a car when I was young. That was how she drank water. Was they had sponges. And even Mo, there was a few times he's in the hospital. They let him suck on sponges and things like that.
Weird. Why?
Yeah, I don't know if it was to. with him, I think it was more because he felt
His
really
neck or
dehydrated
something,
and
or-
he wasn't supposed to be drinking. He had to stop drinking water.
Why?
Not like long term,
Yeah,
like
I
for
know, but-
tests and
yeah.
things like that. I don't
Oh.
remember exactly. It's happened more than one time.
Huh.
But with my mom, it was different. She couldn't. Her mouth was fucked up. She lost all her teeth, everything, and it was just easier for it to like slowly
Yeah.
to get some moisture that way.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was.
What was the other topics that you had there,
Other
Donna?
topics? Let's see. I put down a whole bunch here. Let's pull up. Okay, so I was just thinking about this. What if animals could vote? Which animal species do you think would dominate an election, and what would their platform be? And which animal do you think would be the worst political leader?
Oh my God.
So we'll start with the best. The first thing that pops in my head is like traditional things, like a lion, right?
Would be the most dominant one, you think?
Yeah, I just feel like everyone would kind of immediately respect him. It'd be like if The Rock ran, right? I feel like so many people just vote for him because he's The Rock.
But then, like, all the other fucking animals are like, fuck you, dude. You trying to eat us all the time? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I guess.
antelope and all that shit.
Yeah,
Like,
because
fuck
if you open
man.
it up to all animals, they're gonna have a lot of enemies.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. You got to think about that. Like, everyone's like, fuck lions, man.
That's
like,
such an interesting thought
such.
to have. Is like how. Yeah, if all animals could vote, then a lion probably no. Yeah, because we're not talking about just people voting. For
Yeah. Now we're talking about all
We're talking about all animals, and there's a lot of animals that
fucking
like,
hyenas
fuck
get all
that
pissed
lion.
off. Like hyenas,
Yeah.
like, this fucking took my antelope.
Yeah.
Hyenas all pissed off.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, who's tough shit now? Now I hold the card on the vote, buddy.
yeah. There's more of us, bro. There's way more of us than you.
So what would be the worst? Maybe the lion's the worst.
The lion's worse.
What would be the worst one that would have the most enemies that they couldn't get votes?
Probably fucking spiders, right?
Oh, you're so
Everyone
every
hates
human
spiders.
for one would vote.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we had a potential spider candidate for president? God,
But you know what? They would.
Trump sounds good, bro.
like spiders or ants, right? Because like they, I mean, I guess in numbers they would win though. Like other spider voting for
That's
other
the other
spiders,
thing is fucking numbers.
right?
Arachnids would take over this planet, and insects like
Yeah.
aren't they called arthropods? What are
Yeah.
insects called?
Yep.
Arthropods and arachnids
Yeah, dude.
would run this joint.
Because there's more ants than.
Then they'd have
humans.
access to all the genetic engineering.
Oh my god!
Start making themselves bigger.
Giant.
Oh no! So if animals could vote, this shit would be. That's the reason
be
they
over.
can't vote. There's
Yeah.
a reason they can't vote.
Yeah.
Here, we're not changing a
We
fucking
got to keep
thing.
animals dumb. Let's keep animals dumb, everybody. Let's not give them the power.
I didn't do a deep dive on this, but I just thought it's an interesting topic. I would like to do more of a deep dive. Is like weirdest jobs.
Weirdest jobs.
The jobs that people don't know exist, or you could just think of one. Like, so a couple that I did find, I didn't dive into these, but they
Okay.
are real jobs. There's iceberg movers.
Iceberg movers.
Mm-hmm. There's professional line standers, so people that get paid to stand in line for people.
Yeah. Well, there's also like professional like table sitters, like at the Oscars and like Grammys and stuff like that.
To fill it so it doesn't
To fill
look
it doesn't
empty.
look empty. Yes,
That's
like if somebody has to
wild.
go to the bathroom. Like, because remember, freaking Kramer was going to be on Seinfeld.
Yeah.
He was a seat filler.
And that's why I think this is an interesting topic, because think how many jobs there are like that. Like,
Yeah.
that's a fucking job.
that is a job.
Those people that's a job. They're probably aspiring actors or something. They're like, yeah, I'm a seat filler. I do it part time. Doesn't pay well.
Professional mourner.
Professional mourner.
Yeah, in
How does that work?
In parts of China and Africa, people are hired to cry loudly at funerals to show the deceased was well loved.
Whoa, that reminds me of like the Chinese leader guy before that like
Yeah,
made people cry for him and
yeah,
stuff. Or cried at they had to cry at the funeral, right?
yeah.
I don't
That's
remember.
what it is. Yeah. Odor tester. Companies like deodorant or
Oh, I know.
pet
I've
food
heard of
brands hire people to smell armpits, breath, or animal products to test the scent strength and effectiveness.
Wow.
Can you imagine? All right, I'm gonna need you. I just put this deodorant on, and I just worked out for like 2 hours. Come get into this pit.
Yeah. Damn. There's so many weird jobs.
Oh my god!
So I was digging a little bit into the iceberg one. So guess when it started? It started after the sinking of the Titanic.
Oh.
And so it's actually, so it says a specialized towing operation typically performed by the International Ice Patrol.
Who runs the International Ice Patrol?
The IIP? I don't know. We could look into that too. But it's international, so maybe it's
Everybody?
Yeah, it's everybody in part of it. But they move icebergs away from shipping lanes or to other areas where they pose less of a threat. That's wild. Can you imagine, that just coming up at a party? Like, what do you do? I move icebergs.
I move icebergs.
Yeah, part of a giant operation.
Is that a metaphorical meaning that you mean you move icebergs?
I eliminate challenges. I destroy obstacles.
Yeah. No. I actually do move icebergs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a snake milker, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, for like the poisons, right?
I'm assuming. It's funny they call it milker. It's
Yeah.
not milk. They're not mammals. They
No.
don't produce milk.
Yeah.
Huh,
I'm
okay.
sure that's probably what it is, like for the venoms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine you fuck up your day though? You mishandle something.
God, bro, snakes. Why even fuck with them? Why are these people? There's so many people into snakes.
Yeah.
I started following. I don't follow him, but I might as well be. He's in my algorithm constantly now. It's like this young kid. He's like 15 or 16, something like that.
Okay.
And it's all snakes. But he always has this gimmick that he does where he runs up. It'll be like a camera on a snake, and he'll run up from behind and jumps down into the dirt. Dirt goes in his face, and he stops. He's like, "Okay, this snake is," and he starts talking about it. He's been bit like 1,000 fucking times.
There's a guy I watch. He's called the Yoink Guy, and he gets like things out of. He just yoinks them basically. He goes yoink. Like he'll pick them up and just like grab them.
Oh
Like
yeah,
poisonous
I've
things
seen
and stuff
that.
like that, or like lizards, crocodiles, stuff like that.
Right. Crocodiles are terrifying because they're so fucking giant.
But no, snakes. Like even like again, I don't like snakes either. Like gardener snakes, they can still fucking bite you. It's not gonna, and it'll draw blood.
And I'm paranoid, dude. I think about it's just some wild animal, dude. The bacteria on their teeth. I don't want that shit getting in my bloodstream.
Well, I mean, you can get
fucking
salmonella from lizards.
Yeah, and turtles too.
Yeah.
Tortoises.
Yeah.
We had a tortoise
Yeah.
at one point. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's giving me the heebie-jeebies this
Fuck
episode.
snakes.
Here.
Fuck snakes.
Yeah, snakes.
And
That's my
spiders.
wife's.
Yeah.
Dude, that's her kryptonite. She can't even. And it's anything that's shaped like that, like worms.
Oh, really?
Like
She can't hold worms?
She didn't
either?
want to do anything today because she was like, yeah, when the ground's wet like this, they're all just coming out everywhere. She really freaks out about it.
Maya's going to step in the grass and the worms are going to be like...
Oh,
over her
dude.
feet.
If she hears, I thank God she doesn't listen. Even if she has heard you say that right now, I feel like she would just pass out immediately.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
But it seems like there's something instinctive about that, right? The shape of them.
Yeah.
Because you know what I always think about is cats and cucumbers.
Yeah, that when you put like those videos and they turn
Yeah.
around like, ah!
Just
like,
immediately
yeah.
that shape, something about it,
Yeah.
Maybe all of us at one point were hunted by that fucking Titanoboa.
Oh, my God.
It just ate everything, and we all have
yeah.
this in our DNA memory now of like anything that looks that shape.
Yeah.
Just get the fuck away from it.
Well, the thing is about it, like when you see like those big anacondas,
Mhm.
right? And you're like looking at an anaconda, like that thing is fucking giant. I was like, it can't be that
Yeah.
fast, right?
Oh, but it is.
I mean, to an extent, right?
Actually, I don't know. I'm talking
To an extent.
Is it
But the
fast?
thing is, they rely on like their stealthiness, right?
Yeah, of course.
And people
Sneak
just
attack.
like, yeah. And people like walking by them, like, and they grab you and you're done.
Yeah.
You know? They're not like chasing you. They're opportunistic, I guess, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I was just looking at their speed, 1 mile per hour.
Yeah, but
On
that's what
open
I'm saying. They're
ground. Yeah, you're
opportunistic,
right.
And like if something's coming towards them,
Mm-hmm.
they're just like, it's mine,
Yeah.
or if they're like, stalking something. Stalking is probably better, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they're above, like in a tree or like in the water, right? And some fucking thing comes by, they just grab them.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, dude. Fuck snakes.
Yeah.
Snakes or spiders are worse to you, though.
Which ones are worse?
Yeah.
Spiders.
Yeah, spiders for sure.
Yeah. All those fucking eyes,
Oh, come on, bro.
right?
Ah.
And like all those legs, those things move
I
fucking
honestly,
fast.
I think all the time when you see those microscopic pictures and you just imagine looking face to face with one that was the size of a car, you just be like, Okay, I'm
All those
not
fucking
even
eyes.
gonna run. I'm not
All those
going.
fucking eyes just looking at you.
Ugh.
Or like again, the one that traumatized me when I was growing up, those little I think they're called louse spiders, and they're the ones with the brown butts and the red bodies, but the
Ew.
bodies are kind of like armored, right?
Yes, those things are gross.
And so I remember when I was in the basement, because I lived in the basement, and spiders in the basement, right?
yeah.
And I remember I saw one and I stepped on it. It was on the carpet, right? And I was like, stepped on it. I was like, all right, that thing's dead. And I like walked away, and the thing was like, whoosh, whoosh, started. I was like, no! It was like, what the hell? Like, yeah,
Because it just kind of clamps up like a turtle
yeah,
and uses its armor,
yeah,
survives it, and then moves on with
yeah,
life.
dude. But the louse spider, yeah, yeah.
I wonder what the largest spider ever to exist in history was.
I don't know.
Well, let's ask.
Probably the bird.
What's the largest spider ever to exist in history? We'll see what Google says. The fuck? A megracine? Its body alone, minus the legs, was the size of a human head. Okay, that's
Ugh.
not that big, but that's still fucking gross.
Yeah,
The largest known spider that has ever existed. And with spiders, it gets weird when you talk about what's bigger, though, because there's like those camel spiders. Have you seen those?
yeah.
But their bodies aren't that big, but their legs and all
are long.
they're
Yeah,
giant.
yeah.
Okay, so that's nice to know that the largest one ever was the size of a head. That is fucking big, though.
That's still big though.
Yeah, if you saw it, just thank God it was never the size of a dog or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That
Well,
would
it's
be
like
terrifying.
still to this day, like
But there were scorpions like that.
yeah, but till this day, like when you go to the Butterfly Pavilion in Denver, in Westminster,
Yeah.
you know, and they have that thing called
Tarantula.
Rosie.
Yep.
You can hold Rosie.
No thanks.
And I held it one time just because there was like, just hold it, don't be a pussy. You know, like, oh, fuck, dude. All right. So I'm
not
holding
scared.
it. And so, like, I'm sitting there, and the lady's like, it's okay. It's okay. They're not poisonous. And I remember still looking at her, and I'm like, yeah.
still
But
gonna
that boy,
hurt.
if that thing bites, it's going to hurt still. Those teeth, those fangs are big, bro. Like,
So Rosie actually has fangs?
oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you can't defang those. You got to eat still.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, they still got to
Yeah,
live.
and that would be super inhumane
Yeah.
to do.
But
Damn.
yeah, bro.
No thanks. I'm not. Any
Bruce
kind
Leroy is the most afraid of
Arachnophobic?
spiders. Oh, bro.
of- Really?
Yeah. Like, even if you showed him something like on the phone, he's like, oh, God. Like,
Damn.
yeah, he hates spiders.
Okay, let's switch it up here.
Okay.
A giant sinkhole opens in your backyard.
Okay.
There's a glowing light coming from it. What's the first thing you do?
You're going to look, dude. Everyone's going to look. Everyone's going to look.
And Mike Pierce died.
Everyone's going to look.
This was an adventure game. Immediately dead. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Yeah, you would have to look, right? You'd want to know what was
What the fuck is that glow? What is
the
that?
fucking light coming from?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sinkholes are crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder sometimes how many layers of the crust there are.
Well,
because there's
that
yeah.
video I sent you on the Instagram,
Which one?
the underwater water. There's water underwater
Okay, so this
in
is
the
weird.
form of the crystals, right? They're being held in like it's not a water.
Did I
state.
respond
It's
to it? I don't think I saw
think
this.
so, yeah.
Okay, so I did not see that, but I actually brought that up on an episode a long time ago where they started discovering there's ocean under the ocean.
Yeah. Yep.
There's
But
like
it's-
multiple layers of water
Yeah, but
trapped
it's-
in the crust.
But it's not in the form of actual like liquid water.
it's crystallized.
Yeah, it's
Was it
held within-
crystallized water, just ice?
No, it's held inside crystals. These crystals.
Oh.
Crystalline,
Okay.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that now. So it's not actually like flowing water.
No,
Because that would be interesting. You
Yeah.
find life down there.
but
and
there's a
stuff like
lot
that.
of water still
Yeah.
underneath the water.
Yeah. I was watching this crazy thing about the moon, about how the Earth's moon is so unusual compared to other moons. Like, for one, how close it is and how gigantic it is.
Yeah.
It's about a quarter the size of the Earth,
Yeah.
which is not typical
No.
at all. The other thing that's interesting about the moon is we always see the face because its rotation is exactly identical to its orbit.
Yeah. Yep.
Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah. So we always
So we
see
literally
one, yeah.
always see the same face of the moon, even though the moon is actually rotating. You know, I always thought that it just didn't rotate. That's why
Yeah.
we always see the same face, but it does. But it's precisely the
same
same
as we're going.
as
Yeah.
its orbit
Yeah.
around the Earth, which is really, really, really wild. And you don't think about how important it is, but if something happened to the fucking moon, like some space alien shot it and just exploded it.
Or like an asteroid or a meteorite collided with it
Mm-hmm.
and just knocked it a little bit off of.
Even just a little.
Yeah.
Dude, places would just flood. Have you seen some of the what do they call those? The where they synthesize shit? What am I trying to say?
Yeah.
What's that called when you run like a probability thing? What
Experimentation? I don't know.
what the fuck is it called?
Simulation.
Simulation, yeah. They the different simulations they've run with stuff like that. Just tweaking the moon just a little bit.
Yep.
New York's gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All the coastal cities are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that another weird thing about humans, that we're all attracted to the coast, and it's like the most dangerous place historically to live?
Yeah.
Like it's the place that gets jacked when something happens. It's fucking ocean, tsunamis and earthquakes.
Well, then another thing that's wild is that like when you think of Earth and you're thinking of like the land, right? You're thinking of like, the United States, you're looking North America, South America, Africa, like that. Yeah. But if you just looked at the Pacific Ocean side of the Earth, it's just water.
Oh, I know.
That's all it is. It's just fucking water, bro.
I think about that like when we go to the Philippines.
We're a little lopsided, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because most of the landmass is on particularly one side.
Yeah, the Earth is not perfectly round, actually. Because of that. It's not perfectly spherical. It kind of has like a bulge. And it changes as it rotates too.
Yeah.
What was I just thinking? You just made me think about
the Philippines. System of the Philippines.
Pacific Ocean. Oh, no. It was Antarctica. See, if I didn't have the Neuro gum, I would have forgot that just now. Antarctica, I did this deep dive on Antarctica and was looking at it because all you think is, first of all, we always see it on a regular traditional map, right? So it's just like, no one knows what it looks like. It looks like this long piece of land or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you actually flip the Earth over, look underneath it and look at it, you can see it.
It's a cap.
And then they've done a ton of where they fly over and send radio signals to see what's under the ice. It's actually not one piece of land. It's like a shit ton of islands.
There's like frozen together.
Yeah. And it used to be part of South America. Like at one point it was attached to that. It's actually literally connects right into that, whatever that archipelago.
Yeah.
Is that what they call them? Archipelago that goes down off the tip of South America, goes right into that. And it's really crazy. Most of it's water. It's actually like just these island clumps, but the snow and then the ice is just compacted, built up over millions of years, and it's just this chunk. But not too long before humans existed, it wasn't. There was no Antarctica. It was further up, and it was land, like lush, green, mountainous land.
Well, isn't the other thing too about like going back to the moon? Isn't our moon like another thing that's weird about it is like the what basically nothing going on the moon, whereas like other moons have like atmospheres and shit happening, like gases and all that kind of thing.
That's true.
Like ours is like a fucking dry desert, like nothing.
Yeah, like there's a moon. Is it a moon off of Jupiter or Saturn that they think is close to being able to have life? I don't think they think it does, but like it could. But that fits all those requirements, right? It's got to have like some kind of an atmosphere. It has to have shit happening.
Yeah, ours is just a fucking
climate,
rock, just hanging out.
Yeah, the moon is just this fucking weird void of a place.
Yeah,
where you're super light and you never see the other side.
Like what's in the core of that moon? Like I want to like
that was that same thing that when I was deep diving about the moon that's one really odd thing. It's like I'm probably talking out my ass. We could Google it, but it was in the ballpark of like a 10th as dense as Earth.
Yeah, well,
but it's a quarter the size.
Yeah,
so the mass of the Earth is way more than the moon, and it's not 4 times more like you would expect because it's 25% or whatever.
Yeah,
no, it's way more than that. Like the moon is like, and then there's people that argue. Some people say that there's conspiracy theories that it's like hollow or something like that. Which how the fuck would that happen? That doesn't make any sense.
That'd be weird.
But also, it's more likely that it just has to do with the density of what it's made up of.
Yeah.
And then we literally don't know where it came from, dude. Like we think about all this shit we don't know. That's one big thing. Where did the moon come from?
Yeah.
We don't know. There's theories that it spun off of the Earth, right, when it was forming. There's theories that it came from something outside and got caught in our orbit.
Yeah, in a gravitational pull, yeah.
And that it was, there's people that say it was a result of a large collision on Earth. I don't know, bro. I think it's dumbfounding how little we know.
What if the moon is the meteor that killed...
And it bounced out.
Ended up in orbit. Is it boink?
Bro, where's that theory, scientists? Where's that theory?
It was just like a super ball thing. Boink, just bounced out.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. Do you think we went to the moon?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
Think men landed on the moon?
Yeah.
What do you think's up with Buzz Aldrin refusing, who's a religious man, refusing to put his hand on a Bible and say he walked on the moon.
I don't know.
There's this one video of him getting confronted by somebody.
Yeah.
They're like, bro, if it's real, I got a Bible right here. Just put your hand on it. We'll all leave you the hell alone. Everyone will be satisfied, and we'll just walk away. And he's like, you're playing some game here. I'm not playing your game.
Yeah.
Refuses to do it. That's weird to me.
I don't know.
That's weird. And we know that they fake a lot of shit,
Oh, yeah.
right? We know they do. So it's just a question of, do you think at some point we actually step foot on the moon, or is it literally all 100% fake?
Yeah.
Because it does beg a question, why don't we go back? Like, why haven't we been back?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's 2024. When did we step on the moon first? Long ass time ago, bro.
1967? 66, right?
Stupid.
Something like that?
That's stupid, bro. What? We're coming up on 3/4 of a century, or probably over 3/4 of a century since we did it. Why would we not check it out again?
That's a good point. Why?
Yeah.
We go to the fucking space all the time.
Yeah.
Space station out there.
And I've heard some more breakdowns of the whole Katy Perry and all them when they went to space or whatever. Yeah.
I don't think that's real either.
Okay, so here's the thing. I was going down that rabbit hole, and I kind of was on board with that, and I still think I am. But I think it's not so much of an intentional fake as it was they just didn't go very high. They really didn't go high. They didn't really go to space. They went up to the thinnest parts of the atmosphere, and you get this like cool view, and that's about it. Which is why the door opens a different way. That's why it doesn't have to be, because they're not going to have the same intensity of pressure of like having to force yourself completely out of the atmosphere into space itself. I don't know. I mean, they for sure weren't like out in space, dude.
No.
But it's a question of, was it completely fabricated, or is it just, you say you went to space, you kind of went to space, not so much.
But also, like, they opened up the door themselves.
Yeah. Have you heard her talking about it too?
No.
Katy Perry? Bruh. Like life-changing.
Life-changing.
Like completely, like you can't, it was like a spiritual experience and all this stuff.
God.
And then that's why I'm like, and then if you actually went up that high, you didn't even get out into space. Like,
yeah.
You just went really fucking high. I'm sure it looked dope as fuck. But she was saying that it was like taught her this bigger lesson about how we're all connected. And how, you see this blue-green planet, and you just realize, like, oh, we're all in this together. You're like, stop it. Stop it. Fucking go make another teenage dream.
Yeah.
She's got some hella good songs. Those songs are earworms.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, you hear them, and you just can't get them out your head.
Yeah.
And Katy Perry's an interesting story because she started as a Christian artist. Do you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, she was originally a Christian artist in the church and stuff, which is why so many people can't stand her now.
Oh.
And then, you don't know what's real. You see all this shit on social media, but like, there's people who say she went real dark. Like, she's got to deal with the devil, and that's why she's worked with Diddy and all this kind of stuff. But then you're like, are those people just mad she left the church? You know what I mean? And she did I Kissed a Girl. Fucking pissed everybody off.
Yeah.
Good for her. I mean, that part's good for her. But she seems a little ditzy.
Yeah.
Talking about
her
life-changing experience in space. Pierce, we're missing out. We don't really have a grasp on life in its truest nature because we haven't
gone to space yet.
Yeah, we haven't gone to space yet. Can you imagine doing an episode from space? Dude, you can tell I've started my diet again because I've had 3 timers go off. What are we? We're getting close. It's an hour and 18 minutes into the show, and I've had 3 fucking alarms go off.
Tony, eat already. Eat already.
Well, because that's one of the things about Stay to Slim. You got to eat all the time, bro.
Yeah.
You got to eat all.
Well, that's the thing. It's just the snacking, keeping your metabolism going, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
that's
yeah.
the whole idea of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got this question for you.
Okay.
I thought this one was interesting. So I've got 2 more here. One is pretty predictable, buddy. It's aliens. I've always got that on the list. But this last topic, sports rules we'd change if we were kings of the league. You could change. So if you could add one ridiculous new rule to any sport, what would it be?
I don't know. What was yours?
I don't have answers. I purposely wait till the show. So if I could add a rule to change, it would have to be basketball. There's so many little things in basketball that drive me fucking crazy. Because I think what kills me in basketball is the lack of consistency. Like they'll call something on one end of the court, and then it happens the very next play on the other end, and they don't call it. And you're like, how there's no consistency here.
No, I mean that's just terrible. Like I've been posting on my story recently, if you've noticed, about SGA, Shea Alexander, or whatever, about the new MVP. How he got it over.
I haven't seen you post about this.
Oh no, but I just keep on putting like they call him the free throw merchant.
Yeah,
because that's where he got most of his points.
Numbers. Yeah,
that's where he gets most of his points. And they were showing like even against the Nuggets, like he did it got a foul called, and then Joker went and did the same thing on the other end. They didn't call the same thing.
See,
but then they like on all the posts that I put online, it's showing him Shea like going down the lane and like nobody touching him, but he's like flailing and like throwing the ball up and like foul. Doing all that, just like flailing and
I know. I actually been thinking about him. Like I don't like that idea of just padding your numbers with a bunch of fucking free throws.
Yeah, and that's it. And so at Minnesota, they're playing Minnesota right now in the playoffs, right? The Western Conference Final.
Sure.
And in Minnesota, they were chanting "Free throw merchant."
I didn't see that.
Free throw merchant as when he was on the line.
Yeah, gets a lot of points that way. That would be, I guess it's kind of a general thing, but it would be something to do with fouls.
Yeah.
Like I would take away how sensitive fouls because they can technically call a foul if you just pinkies bump against something, you know?
Yeah. And they've changed things over the years for the fouls. Like used to be like you would get a foul, like if you were shooting and you leaned into somebody. You know, and you bumped in them and you shot it, and so like now they call it a non-natural move. So you can actually get called for a foul.
Yep.
For doing a non-natural move, for trying to draw the foul. Yeah. So
yeah.
And then another thing too they do now is the cylinder of space that you have. So like if you jump up in the air, and if somebody puts their like foot underneath you in your landing zone.
That's probably
you can get a call for a foul too because
that's a good one,
putting them in risk of injury. And
stuff I think anything that's in place to keep them from getting like really detrimental injuries, I think those are good.
Yeah,
those kind of things are always good. Is there a sport you think that if you had to pick one, which sport most desperately needs a rule overhaul?
A rule overhaul? I don't even know.
I mean, I feel like that about football, but not really.
They change things on football all the time, bro.
All the time.
Every year, the kickoff. Like,
that's what I'm saying. You can't keep up. You can't fucking keep up with what they're doing. So with football, I would make them nail it down. But I really wouldn't because of what we know with science. But I do miss football being hard hitting back in the day.
Bam!
You know what I mean? People just getting jacked and stuff. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But they were just warriors. And now, because what happens is when you start fucking with the rules, players start manipulating and using the rules to their advantage. And just like we're talking about. And I remember being in Sacramento during that LA Sacramento NBA stuff. And remember Vlade Divac, this fucking flopper from good Lord, some of the worst flops I've ever seen in my life. And some of these guys still do it. Like there's just people out there. That's what I'm saying. It's just all faking injuries, which we're getting to soccer level.
Yeah, that is soccer, dude.
Soccer is ridiculous.
Soccer drives me crazy. Like, they like fall to the ground. And they're like, they're like holding like their knee or their shin, and they're like wincing in pain, and it takes them forever. They're just laying on the ground, right? And like the trainers come out and they get sometimes they have what they call the magic spray. You're like, and they're spraying on them, and it's like, and then
spray.
And then all of a sudden, like, they get up and they're sprinting like right away.
No problem.
Like right after that.
Come on, guys. We know what you're doing.
Like,
or like you see the ones that get caught and they show them in slow motion. They're like, oh, like they got kicked, and you're like, nobody was like 2 feet away from you.
Nobody even touched you, bro.
Nobody even got close.
Yeah.
And I feel like basketball is sometimes like that. Like they're getting to that level.
Yeah. You can get called for flopping in basketball too.
Can you? I didn't know that.
You can get in trouble for flopping.
Okay, that's a good thing. Yeah, because people really use it to their advantage, like you said, like he does. Like he'll just, it's all in your reaction.
Yeah,
like you just react as if something terrible happened to you. But I just don't like some of those little petty calls. When like there was one. What was the game yesterday? It was who played. I was watching a replay. It was
Pacers.
It was Minnesota. Yeah.
Oh no, it was Minnesota and Oklahoma City.
Yeah, and I can't remember what the play was, but it ended up being called a defensive foul. But it was, in my book growing up, it was such a clean ass block. It was such a clean block. It was amazing. And it was literally the off non-shooting hand that he bumped with his other arm.
Oh, God, dude.
And you're like, stop.
Like, doesn't do anything.
That was a fucking block, dude.
Yeah.
That was a mean block. Instead, dude's on the line. And you're like, this is stupid. That shit's annoying. So I think basketball for me would probably be the one where I would just like tone down the foul stuff. Let them play a little bit more. Keep those ones in place to keep people from really getting injured.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't just be so technical like a pinky touching something. That
Dude.
should not be a foul.
Yeah. No.
I'm sorry. What are we doing?
No, I agree with that. And it's so wild because like the amount of flopping that happens, like you will see like a big ass dude like go to the ground like after like, you know, someone like half his size, like hit him. You're like, bro, that's not.
I feel like you're talking about LeBron.
That's not happening. That is not knocking you down.
Yeah.
Like I remember, I think it was something like, what was it? Like when the Nuggets are playing OKC and like Dort, who is like, you know, 6 foot, I think he's like 6'5", 6'4", but he's like 265 pounds. He's like linebacker build.
Yeah.
And I think somebody like CB like hit him, you know, Christian
well,
Brown
exactly.
hit him, and it was like bam, and he like fell to the ground dramatically. You're like, bro,
Stop. There ain't no way.
if they-
Yeah, I feel like that's LeBron. LeBron will do it with no contact, though.
yeah,
Like fall backwards. Like, stop, guys, stop. To me, that's one of the. I know it sounds petty, but it's not to me.
yeah,
That's one of the reasons he can't be in the GOAT conversation to me, LeBron. I'm like, there has to be a mindset aspect to being in the GOAT conversation, doesn't there? It can't just be numbers. It can't just be stats. Like, there has to be something about your grit. You're a man. You're out there playing like I don't know, faking injuries and complaining about everything, arguing with refs, and especially with LeBron because he's kind of on the bigger side of things, you know, as a player.
yeah.
And like seeing him screaming at officials that are like fucking 5'11", you know what I mean? Just watching this guy, it's just crazy to me the way he behaves and the way he acts. Not to mention, I think even if you are going with numbers, there's still not an argument for LeBron. And I'm a Lakers fan. That's going to piss a lot of people off. But I just don't think LeBron's, to me, in the conversation at all. There's too many other factors that just make him just like...
Well, the longevity, right? He's been in the league longer. He's able to grab more points.
He's also living in a time when that shit's more... You know what I mean? There's more ways to take care of your body better than there's ever been.
Yeah.
So he has that advantage.
Yeah.
And then the reason he's in the conversation with points and all that is because it's just over time.
Yeah. He's been there the
It's
longest.
time. You know, that shit builds up. You add in a couple more years and suddenly, you know, you're passing Jordan in things because he didn't play as long.
Yeah. Well, like, again, Joker being passed up for MVP is wild because he's the only player in history
Agreed.
to do the 30-20-20.
I don't know how he's passed.
30 points, 20 rebounds, 20 assists. He's the only player in history to ever do that, ever. And he got passed up. And he was like top 3.
Just one game, Pierce.
And he was in top 3 in points, rebounds, assists, and something else.
Why is it always like that with him?
He was in the top 3 of all those categories, dude. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he and no other like Jordan, like all those other people never did that before. LeBron.
No, nobody.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean, though, is like there's a clear bias, and it's been that way for years.
Yeah. Because they don't want the face of the NBA is a hip hop culture, right?
Oh, we've talked about this.
Yeah. And they don't want the fucking Serbian to be
Do you think
the
it
face
has
of the NBA.
Yeah, totally. Well, in addition, it doesn't help like his general demeanor and attitude about the job. Like it's just fucking work. I just clock in and it's like, what do you do? I'm looking forward to drinking some beer. You know, like I'm just gonna hang out.
I'm gonna go hang out with my horses after this.
Yeah, more work. We have more work. He is an anomaly in that way.
Yeah. But no, that's what they're also saying too. Like, and the other thing about Joker is that he is doing this without another All-Star on the team.
I know.
There's no other All-Stars. Legit.
I know.
No other All-Stars. Right. Okay, like
that's what I mean.
Like Jordan. Again, we're gonna people can fucking piss off at me about this thing. But Jordan had Scottie Pippen. He had Dennis Rodman. Those are actual All-Stars.
That's true. Yeah.
Right. You know. Kobe had Shaq, Paul Gasol, actual All-Stars.
Yes.
Like, you know, Larry Bird had
Kevin McHale.
Like
Robert Parrish.
Actual All-Stars.
Yep.
Right? Those are actual All-Stars people. Joker has no actual All-Stars on his team besides him. He's the only one like Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, like Aaron Gordon, they're not All-Stars.
Yeah, they're good.
They're good, but they're not at All-Star
That's
teams.
a good point. Yeah. Again, I mean, it's just a clear bias
Yeah.
to me. Like, I don't know how you don't see something like that. Well, you see it.
Yeah.
It's marketing. It's business, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, he's not a good front face for the front of the NBA, despite, how he really should be.
Yeah.
Like, you just look how fucking amazing he is and how good he is and the situation he's working with. It is different.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's smooth.
That is a real smooth one. I do have a joke for you though, Dollar.
Okay, let's
that we
hear
got from one of our super fans. What do you call a man with no shins?
What?
Tony.
That's a good one. I've never heard that one. You would think I had heard that at some point. That's another one in the bag. It's episode 233. Pierce, we did it.
We did it again.
Yes.
Another one in the bag.
We'll be back next week.
Oh yeah.
Doing it again.
Better than ever. And with that, Dollar, it is a wrap.
Cheers.